Hello.
Goodness. Hey, we done made it to another freaking Thursday and just want to say everything was earned this week because let me tell you something. It was a mission to get here today. I am Xander over your girl, the Sportsista. And of course, if it's Thursday, my partner in time is the one and only people's announcer, Ramblin' Ralph Velez. How you doing, Ralph?
I'm good. I'm good. NFL draft about to start in a week. We had some good boxing last weekend. Actually, combat sports in general, I think, won last weekend. We had some really good fights. Some up and comers got to shine. We go back to Masvidal taking a little siesta, but we'll talk about that
Get that man a
later on in the broadcast. But hey, man, overall last weekend, a really good weekend for combat sports in general. We have some crowds back on these cards, and I couldn't be happier for our country to begin the healing process while still taking care of each other, being able to enjoy combat sports live. So it was cool.
Look, in the draft today, though.
Yeah, the draft starts in an hour.
Oh,
so after we're done with our guests, we talk about a couple other things. I'm about to let you go.
We're the pre-show.
The pre-show's on right now.
We're about to get you hyped because, listen, we got one that's cracking today. We often hear about who got next, who's next in line, who's rising in the ranks, and I couldn't think of a fighter. There's actually two. We already had one on, and that's Boots, and actually they in the same division. We have Mr. Xander Zayas today on us on Levels Live. I'm gonna let Ralph give him a proper introduction because you're gonna hear about this man.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the youngest and up and coming boxers in the world from San Dulce, Puerto Rico, Xander Zayas. What's up, dog?
Hey, thank you guys for having me here.
Before we start, I have to say something. Besides my Mexicano fighters, people love to show their pride and love to show the flag. CC, we already got it. It's in the background. It's right there front and center.
Yes,
He's
sir.
already on his shirt. I love it, man. Welcome to the show, brother.
Man, thank you guys for having me here. Thursday night is a blast. The draft is about to start. I got a couple boys that are in the draft, so I'm ready to watch it.
Who you got in the draft?
I got my boy Caleb from Virginia Tech. He's a cornerback, one of the top cornerbacks in the draft right now. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see him, get picked by whatever team he gets picked by. So shout out to him.
Listen, speaking of getting paid, what an amazing first round knockout you're coming off of next week. At this point, what are you looking to? Now we saw Edgar Berlanga also get some rounds in. Finally, speaking of KO specialists, but then here you come, ending your night early. I know y'all don't get paid for overtime, but how are you feeling about how your career is unfolding right now?
I feel great. I think we taking it step by step. We enjoying the process. Me, my team, Top Rank, we are making every step necessary to accomplish my dreams of becoming a world champion. I know when the time is right, and when we in the right spot, we'll make that jump to for a world title. But for now, 8 fights in, I'm feeling great. Got a knockout in front of a Puerto Rican crowd in Kissimmee, Florida. What else can I ask for? It was amazing.
Gotta like to hear that, huh, Ralph?
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of a Puerto Rican crowd, go back for us and just tell us a brief story on how this all evolved for you. You got guys like Steve Kim, bro, talking on his podcast, Mario Lopez, about you, saying you're the next big thing. You got Bernardo Osuna, who is my buddy, who got to broadcast and do the play-by-play. And he's like, bro, like this kid is going to be special. So you have guys that have already been in the game 20, 30 years scoping you out as the next big thing. So where did it all start, man? Because most of the time, for Latinos and for the people of Puerto Rico, it all comes from family, bro. It comes from you watching fights from your tata, abuelo, dad, whoever it is. Like, what was your driving force into getting to where you were at? How did it all start for you?
Well, I started boxing in Puerto Rico when I was 5 years old. I was being a victim of bullying, so my mom decided to put me in boxing just to learn how to defend myself. It was nothing. It was like it was
When
never
you
like,
were
oh, all right,
5? Who was
5
bullying you
years
at
old.
5?
Man, I could tell you
Hey,
stories, and you'll be like, that's crazy.
the streets of Puerto Rico, a preschool, baby. You got Dukes, man.
So at that age, I didn't want to be like a normal kid and go out and play because again, I was being bullied. My mom decided to put me in boxing just to learn how to defend myself. It was never like, all right, you're gonna do this for the rest of your life. But then I fell in love with the sport. You know, we we went to my first amateur fight. I won. Um, kept winning national after national. Then came here. Kept winning national after national. And around the age of 11, 12, I told my dad and my mom that this is what I wanted to do. That it was my dream and this was my my goals. And at that age, they were like, all right, you still got time. You might change your mind a little, in a couple of years. Then when I turned 16, that I won my last USA national, I kind of like at that point they knew it was serious. When my manager came around and we started speaking about going pro, that's when they actually that's when I actually kind of like my mom, because my dad already knew, my dad already knew that I wanted to do this, but kind of my mom came around it and she like, all right, like he's serious about this. And everything just went from there. Now 8-0, 18 years old, having, living life, enjoying life, learning about life, and just growing.
Take me to the moment. So you're signed to Top Rank, very young age. Take me to the moment when you got that call.
Um, we was at the gym. We was actually at the gym, and my manager called us, and I'm hitting the bag, and I don't know where my dad and my coach come around me, and I mean, yeah, I'm hitting the bag. They watching me. They always watch me, but like when they came like really close to me, I got kind of like nervous. I'm like, what is going on? Like, did something happen? And my coach and my dad, they both said at the same time, "We got it done. We did it. Congratulations." I'm like,
Oh, we lost him. We lost him. The story was just getting juicy.
Boo boo boo.
And when we bring him back, I will just reiterate with him is that he is the youngest boxer that has ever been signed to Top Rank. And
oh,
there you are. You're back. All right.
sorry, I don't know what just
No, it's all
happened.
good. It's all good.
But where did I left off so I could continue?
You
They said
left
they
off
got
where
it
you
done.
said that you got it done. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so we got it done, and at that moment I didn't know. I mean, I'm training. I didn't know what was going on. I mean, I knew that we were talking to Top Rank and that that was something that was going to be done. But at the moment I'm training, and they're like, "Oh, we got it done. Congratulations!" And I stop, and I'm like, "What are you guys talking about?" And like, you're a professional boxer now. And I was like, oh no, no, I'm sorry for my language. I'm like, no shit.
No,
um,
it's all good.
and so I was excited. I was really excited. After that, I couldn't sleep for like 2 days because I was like super, super excited. And I remember when they made the announcement, I was in a school field trip, and
Okay.
my boy grabs the phone and he's like, we eating lunch, and my boy goes like, hey, is this you? And I look at the phone and it says Xander Zayas signed a Top Rank at 16, youngest ever. And I was like, yo, that's me right there. And my phone just went crazy. It was exciting moments. It was exciting times.
Do you ever find yourself getting caught up in the moment? I know that it's very easy to do so, especially when people like us and the Steve Kims of the world are putting you front and center. But do you ever find yourself that the pressure being a little bit overwhelming for you? We had Berlanga here on the show less than a year ago, and in that time he is not, he's done what he's done. But do you ever find yourself saying, is this even real still? Do you ever find yourself caught up in the moment? There's been some times in my career that I'm like, I can't believe I'm here. Like I'm doing these things.
Yes,
You ever had that moment at all where you're like, whoa, I gotta
yes, 100%,
real?
100%. Like even last Saturday, even during fight week, I was like, this is real. Like, like because I used to see Pitufo Diaz on TV. I used to see Berlanga on TV. I used to see all these guys on TV, you know, knocking people out and winning and making the island proud. So me being there with them and having a conversation and them like being really cool with me and like kind of like making a bond together, it's like it's surreal. You think about it and you're like, the hard work is paying off. The dedication, all the late nights, all the early mornings, all the oh, I can eat these, I can eat that. It's working, it's paying off, and I'm just blessed. I'm just blessed to be where I am today, man.
In some ways, was it easier for you to get some rounds in during the pandemic when crowds weren't there? Maybe things were a little bit more chill and you can have a bit more focus and actually hear your corner.
Um, yes, but the only time that I kind of win the 6 rounds was my last fight before this one during the bubble. Other than that, all my other bubbles fight, they kind of ended by knockout. But
They ain't kind of, they did.
but but yes, listening to the corner it was easier than now. Like, I totally forgot what was the feeling of fighting with a crowd. So last Saturday, I couldn't hear my dad to like I knocked him down, and I look at the corners. My dad and my coach are like, calm down, breathe, calm down. I'm like, I got you. But yeah, back in the bubble, it was easy. Hey, stay focused, hands up, do this, do that, and you're like, all right, I can listen, I can hear you better.
It's one thing to come back, CC, into a crowd that has like maybe 1,000 people. I've done some shows.
Yes,
I mean, they're averaging 1,000, 2,000 shows. Bro, you guys had like screaming fans that if you look in the background, they were ready to like jump the gate.
Bugging.
literally,
There was actually a couple
literally.
that were like, they were ready to throw blows with people in the crowd as well for your fight and Berlanga's fight. Like they were ready to throw.
Yes.
They were excited too, just passionate fans. Like that's crazy, bro, to come back
I
to
think,
so exciting and so full of energy.
yeah.
Just they were
And
ready
not
to
just
come
that,
back.
and not just that, it was also that we fought in Kissimmee. Kissimmee is like another city of Puerto Rico, but just in
Yeah.
Florida. And so you had all these Puerto Rican fans wanting to be back, wanting to, watch boxing live, watch their prospect and their contenders live. So, mixing all that together, it was hard to listen to the corner. But at the same time, you always have that voice, those two voices. I mean, at least me, I don't know about anybody else, but at least me, those two voices, my coach and my dad voice, I kind of like have it in the back of my head because I've listened to them my whole career, during camp, I mean, I could go back 5 years from now, 5 years ago, and it's the same voice. It's the same voice, so you kind of like get used to it. But it was a little hard. I'm not gonna lie, it was a little hard to like kind of like list, like pay attention to what they were saying with all the crowd, screaming and just
They're
yelling
going
and being
bananas, man.
excited.
They're going
Yeah.
bananas. We don't bullshit here on this podcast, man. We go live. We don't sugarcoat anything. We always ask this of the fighters: what is the one thing, bro, that you have seen from your amateur days to the pros that you wish was still an amateur? Is it, is your training more intense? Is there stuff that you don't like to do while you're training? Is it the politics of boxing that you sometimes have no choice of involved in? What is the one thing that has changed for you that's great, but what is the one thing for you that you kind of wish that was still, back in the amateur days?
Well, what's great is that I only got to win one day. And
Right.
then I get to eat. Back in the amateur, I had to wait. I had to weigh every day for the whole week, so that was kind of like, I can't eat.
Yeah.
I can eat whatever. Um, and something that that I don't like. Man, I don't know. I mean, I'm like kind
You
of
got
like.
too many people sliding in your DMs, Xander. Somebody got to monitor that for you.
Hey, that's not a problem,
Well,
CC.
well,
Real quick.
no.
It could
Well,
be.
well,
You don't want them kind of problems.
No,
Yeah.
no, listen. Well, my dad control my social media.
Good.
I mean, I
Good.
do have access to it, but he does all of that. I try to stay focused on the training, on what I got to do to get better, and I just try to keep it that way. It's easier for me. It's less weight.
Yeah,
CC,
you don't want them kind of problems.
hey, we got a good one here, man. Well spoken. Lets his parents handle social media, stays focused on task. I mean, we got a good one. Who are who are your heroes, man? Give me a hero from Puerto Rico, and then give me like an all-time great for you from anywhere that you've kind of looked up to and you kind of followed along your journey.
Boxing wise,
Yes.
well, Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto is the fighter that I grew up watching, the
Right.
fighter that I grew up idolizing. You know, somebody that is a great human being out in and outside the ring, a gentleman of the sport, and somebody that I'm looking forward to be like. You know, I'm looking forward to be
Right.
like him, bring glory to the island of Puerto Rico, and just be or try to be what he once was. You know.
Right. Right.
We're
Uh,
talking about. We're
outside of
talking
boxing. What
to.
about outside of boxing? Who you like outside of boxing? Give me someone that you just look up.
Wow, man! Outside of boxing, my biggest hero, my dad Orlando Garcia and my mom Jaitza Castro. I mean, all the hard work that they put in for me to be where I am today. You know, I have to let them know that they're my heroes. I mean, I tell them every day. I tell them every day, and I think those are my two superheroes. If you want me to be honest with you.
We're
CC.
talking to Xander Zayas, top ranked welterweight. And listen, you're going to hear more about him. But while we got him today, levels, you are still young in the game. You're still really a student of the game. Are you
Yes.
peeping what's going on the business side of boxing as well? We see
Yes.
Teofimo Lopez making a really bold move to actually take that fight to a purse bid for Triller. What are some of the first thing we're gonna do is make sure that we get you.
Yeah, he'll pop back in. It's probably his service. It happens.
Yeah,
He'll be back in 2 seconds. The good thing is he comes back
There
quick.
you go.
there we go. Yeah. So I was asking, what are you peeping in terms of the boxing game, and where do you want to kind of extend your earning opportunities outside of the ring?
Well, the boxing game, like business wise, it can get a little tricky sometimes. You just got to find a good way to navigate through it. I mean, I have a great team, great manager. He will. I know when the time of the big money comes, he will get me the right amount of money. He will get me and my team in the right spot to take advantage of our opportunities. But for now, we kind of in the little leagues. We still in the undercard.
Oh,
We're still
you in the
growing.
big leagues, buddy. You
No,
playing now.
hey, 100%,
No,
100%. I'm playing. I'm playing, but you know what I'm saying. I'm not in the big money talk yet. Once that comes our way, we will make sure we take advantage of our opportunities, business and in boxing.
You are definitely
CC.
rep by one of the best in the business. How did Bernie find you?
Well, Bernie works with Peter, with my manager. They're really close friends, and they've been working for a long time. And so, when I became part of the FGA team with Peter, he came along and we started working together. And I got to shout out Bernie. He
Please do.
great guy, and he got all the contacts.
CC, I don't even know where to begin with this kid because, man, look, dude, you got everything, bro. You got everything. We want you to stay really level-headed if you can. I know that it's hard because, again, you're being featured on ESPN.com. Right when you pull up the website, you're on there. We got a lot of things that we can't find. We normally try to find a weakness in a fighter when we let him go. Like, oh man, he did that. No way. Like you have everything that the sport needs right now. You and Berlanga are bringing back there's always been a Puerto Rican legend at every level, every decade. There's always someone coming out of the country and representing the country that brings nothing but pride to the fans and to the people. I know because I'm Latino, so I know what it means to have our Mexican heroes, the Puerto Rican heroes, at the end of the day. But, the one thing I do want to say about you guys is that, you don't shut people out. Berlanga now, reaching out to people on social media. I've seen, that you guys are not getting to a point where you're shelling yourselves in. You're still level-headed, and you're acting like if you're 1-0 or 2-0 still, which I really, really appreciate because as a fan first, we don't want the young kids to start turning and start getting big headed, because that's where you guys fall off. And we've seen so many stories of these kids coming up, and all of a sudden they get a hold of a lawyer or a manager that just takes them the wrong way, or they just get a little bit too big for their own bridge. And we wish you nothing but the best, man. We have a lot of fun watching your fights. I was really excited. I watched your fight on my phone because I was doing another fight in Phoenix, and everybody that was around the commission came to watch the fight because they all heard about you, man. So
Ralph, you got to get into the game. Got to get
I'm just excited. I'm excited. All the love, since day one, it's been amazing. All the messages that I've been receiving. I'm just blessed. Again, I'm just blessed to be where I am. And going back to being level headed, staying focused. I promise you, I will stay this way, because if not, my mom and my dad will whoop my ass. So sorry again, but my mom and my dad will beat me if I try to get a little too crazy. So I have a great team. We have a great family. They are keeping me focused. They are keeping me on the line, and I'm just blessed. I'm just really, really blessed to be where I am, man.
Save yourself some whoopings. You had that first round knockout, so I'm expecting they're going to want you to get back in there sooner rather than later. When might we see you again?
Hopefully June. I'm looking forward to go back in the ring in June. That will be 3 fights in 2021. My goal is 6 fights this year. Getting better.
Plan.
getting that level of competition up every time I step into the ring. Finishing the year fighting 8-rounders, and the most important one, winning prospect of the year. I think that that those are my goals this year, and I'm looking forward to accomplish every single one of them.
I can't wait to play that clip back at the end of the year, Ralph, where he says, looking forward to winning prospect of the year once he's announced as prospect of the year.
Definitely. So Berlanga was on Fat Joe's podcast a couple of days ago, and he mentioned you. Did you get a chance to meet him in Florida? Did you get a chance to hang out with him? What was that like?
No, didn't have a chance to meet Fat Joe, but Berlanga, I was with him throughout the whole week. We have the same nutritionist, Perfecting Athletes, so shout out to them too.
Nice.
They made our weight loss look easy. The hydration back to our weight was amazing. Berlanga, that's my brother. Man, all respect to him, to his family. They were great people. And I can't wait. I can't wait to have another fight week with him and his family. It was great.
It is all the way live, right?
Before Cece asks her final question, before I let you go, I just want to tell you thank you for coming on with us. I want to tell you how refreshing it is to speak to someone who's well spoken with a lot of respect. I know you parents, man, because of the way you treat us and the way you're speaking about them. It's not every day that a fighter gets to have both parents who are supportive. The sport is really rough. Sometimes we have a lot of stories of kids not having any parent to fall back on, and they end up getting coaches and trainers. And you, fortunately for you, you have 2 parents that'll whoop your ass if you get out of line. And, bro, that's right. Me as a Latino, because we know better.
Man,
we know better.
100%. And again, I want to thank you guys for having me here. It's always a blessing. Talking about my story. I love doing it. So thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to, bring my story out to more people. And I'm just grateful to be here with you guys.
All right. Well, we're gonna bring you back, CC. What do we got?
Oh, heck yeah.
Humble, dedicated, doing all the right things. Future star will be one of the faces of boxing. Aaron, thank you for that comment. It's the truth, man. We see it. Just stay level headed, brother. And I'll let CC close it out. But again, thank you.
Sir.
You're always welcome back here. We got to have you back on after your next fight. And all again, brother. We appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
When they say that the best is yet to come, what would be the best yet to come for you outside of having, or in addition to having a strap?
I'm just 18 years old. I don't know what weight class I'm gonna be 1 year from now. I don't know what weight class I'm gonna end up my career. I don't have my men's strength yet. I'm not even close to having my men's strength, and I just have to stay focused. I just have to stay focused, dedicated, put the work in, listen to my coaches, listen to my team, listen to my parents, and then I could tell you the best is yet to come. I I don't know. I don't know what's the best, but we'll have this conversation in a couple years, and I will give you an answer.
Yes, sir. Hey, I have one more question before you let him go. If no one has, a lot of people eat Mexican food down here where we live in Nevada, Arizona, California. It's real popular. New York and Florida, Puerto Rican food is really, really popular. So if
Yes.
someone has not tried Puerto Rican food right now, what do you recommend? Like, yo, man, Papa, you gotta eat this and
The whole menu.
one meal and one dessert, whatever,
The,
whatever.
the whole menu, the whole menu. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm playing. But man, you can have some mofongo if you like, plantain. You can have some mofongo with shrimps or beef or chicken. You can also have some rice, bean, and pork with pasteles. That's just amazing. Then for the dessert, you can have tres leches. You can have let me see what else.
But something your mom
Fuck!
would look forward to. Yeah, I was gonna say,
Oh.
what's your mom make that
Tell
you
your
look
mom,
forward
tell
to?
mom what's up. That's awesome.
What's this one? This one called coquito. You can have some coquito. It's
Oh,
a
that's my
drink.
favorite, bro. Dude, I got to go to San Juan.
Man, flan.
Coquito is my favorite, bro. Coquito,
You can have
by
flan. I
far,
mean, there's a
my
couple
favorite.
stuff. There's a couple stuff that
Nice.
you could have from Puerto Rico that you'd be like, man, this is amazing.
All right, you heard it first, guys, from Xander, straight out of his mouth, man. That's what you got to try. Good. We're going to be looking forward to seeing you very, very, very,
Thank
very
you.
soon in the future. And hopefully you come back to Vegas within the
Yes,
year,
sir.
be able to get in there and see you and meet face to face and congratulate you. All right?
Thank you.
Xander, best
Thank
of
you.
luck to you the rest of the way. We hope to see you soon. Take care.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
That's probably one of the more well-spoken, respectful human beings we've had on this show since we've been doing it.
Yeah.
We
All
try
right.
to get
Well,
the
you
comfort
know,
zone,
they
but he-
say that
hey.
he had good home training. He had good
Hey,
home
we try to
training.
get him out of the comfort zone, and he doesn't allow it, and that is because he's well-rounded. Honestly, one thing about Latino fighters in general, they can be Puerto Rican, Mexican, whatever, like respect for the mom and the dad. Like they're still afraid of the parents, man. I'm still afraid of my mom. I'm 42. I'll get my ass whooped too. Still, you get out of line, and that's good for him. It's going to keep him well-rounded, and you know how these other people are on the outside of the sport. They're going to try to get at him, but I think he'll do a good job of keeping his distance and making sure that he's on the right track. He's very focused.
Yeah,
That's like,
it's a really good point. You talk about people trying to get at him in boxing, outside of boxing. Just to pivot a little bit, Ryan Garcia has decided to take a bit of a break. And there's just a lot of different stories swirling around his stories. He's taken a break from mental health. I know that Steve Kim and Mario Lopez and a few other people kind of went at him for having other motives. Whether he does or he doesn't really ain't my business. But my point is, at a certain point in the trajectory, if you're a rising star, it gets heavy, gets hot,
absolutely.
real hot.
Absolutely, and this is the situation that I was asking Xander about, because it's good that his dad runs the social media. A lot of people DM me through my social media talking about getting at the Mayweather people. That ain't me. I don't do that for Mayweather Promotions. You want to call somebody, you call Leonard Allaby, you call the office and you talk to them. Like I don't. And I have no business getting phone calls and messages, but I do, because people get desperate and they try to do whatever they can. And it just gets to a point where hopefully, he's able to keep that away from him, because I think he has a very bright future. His left hook is phenomenal. Looks like mine.
A left hook
got it
almost
going
turned
on.
into an elbow right there, Ralph. I don't know.
You got it going on. But hey, in case you miss, you got to make sure you follow through. That's lesson number one with the left hook, man. But yeah, Ryan Garcia, to be honest with you, a lot of fans are hammering him. They're saying that he's ducking Linares now, and this is the reason for it. I don't know what the situation is. I just know that the Justin Bieber effect is happening to this kid way sooner than what he should have, without fighting the fighters that he needed to move to the next level. And now, right now, you have no choice but to jump to that next level. And maybe you're stressed out. Maybe that's got a lot of strain on not only your life personally, but you know, your boss is on Triller doing his thing, right? And then Canelo Alvarez
Yeah.
yesterday or 2 days ago comes out and says he walked away from Golden Boy because all Oscar cares about is drinking. This is not me saying it. It's straight from his mouth. That's on the internet right now as of today. So, you know, do you feel that strain being the young buck there in that promotional house? Like, where do you stand there? It's just a lot of stress and a lot to put on
It's
somebody.
got to be a shit show. I mean, it really does. It's got to be a shit show when you have, you know, Oscar De La Hoya, still one of the biggest names in boxing, has a real legit boxing legacy, you know, and he is uncontrollable when it comes to being a professional. And then you have to navigate that. You got contract conversations. You got to talk with the matchmakers. You got to make sure the people in your camp, you know, ain't beefing with somebody in your training camp on the other side of the gym. That happens too, you know. And then we see the girlfriend. We see. He's a little distracted.
You know what's crazy is that I've seen in my
I got
short
Taekwondo belt testing upstairs. You hear all that?
Oh, is that what they're doing? They're belt testing in your house right now?
Yeah, he's belt testing.
I just asked somebody because of the Kumite stuff, because I got some people coming at me because we're getting ready to launch here in July. And I got people, and I was asking, like, so what makes you a certain, like, who decides, okay, now you're ready to be a purple or a brown or a black? Like, who decides that? Like, what do you say? Like, the master shows up, like, and says, okay, I got to see this and this and that. And then I can
down for the mountain.
How's that work?
Well, actually, so there's a lead instructor, the owner of the school, and they have certain things that they have to achieve during an assessment. And you don't always reach the next level. It depends on how. And I think this teacher I really like because he takes into account everything that happened in that particular phase. It's not just what you do on testing night. It's what did you do? How did you grow during that whole phase? And so I don't mind that he doesn't earn a next level every single time out. You got to earn it. Everything earned.
Yeah.
So tonight, I think he was ready, though. We've been sparring in here a little bit, and we were out, you know, out in the park. And said, there's parents out there playing catch. I bring the mitts, you know, I bring the kicking pad. So we don't bring them, well, we bring that. So people were kind of like, you know, who are these weirdos over here trying to break people?
Yeah, that's good. And then we have CC, Teofimo and Cambosa's already signed in Miami on Triller for June 5th. And then my boss decides to throw a little monkey wrench in the whole scenario down there and says, well, we're going to go Hard Rock Stadium the next day on a Sunday. And we're going to go to church in the morning, and then we're going to whoop some ass in the afternoon. So we now have signed Mayweather versus Paul with a fantastic undercard. I got to see a little bit of it. It's going to be fire. They got 3 guys that they've signed that were national champions that will be making their pro debut on this card. And then they're going to do the Badu Jack Jean Pascal rematch card. And I'll tell you what, that fight was amazing. And I don't know who saw it or who didn't see it.
Oh, yeah, heck yeah.
Go back on YouTube and watch that shit because that was fire. And
you know, we're gonna have Badu on. We're gonna have to get him on before the fight.
Definitely.
But you know what?
Be realistic with me. You're my partner, but what do you think about this shit? Like, I mean, let's be real. Because
it ain't boxing.
I have been getting my ass hammered, and this is what I'm gonna tell you. I'm just gonna tell you, and Jeremy, listen in the back, and he might as well come in here, and I wanted his 2 cents on it because I know he's a man of that would probably
Jeremy, comb your hair real quick. He got that good hair though. It just laid. Jeremy's hair.
Yeah, I was just talking shit about all you guys having hair. Even Xander with his nice cornrows all done up and like Kojaking it now. But I'm gonna tell you like this. He's 44 years old. He's been retired for a long time. Triller goes, and if it's a 1.5 or 1 million or even 750,000, it still beats every other pay-per-view in the last few years. Okay. So let's be realistic and call it what it is. It's going to be entertainment. It's going to be a fantastic show for the Jake Paul and Logan Paul fans of the world who support them. All 300 million total of them. They have their own cult. They will be out in droves. 14-year-old heart's going to be broken all over the world on that night because I don't see Logan having a chance. But it's entertainment. Guys, Floyd fought. If you go back and look at the resume, whether you want to argue when he fought these guys or not, if you just look on paper, Floyd's fought some pretty amazing individuals. Whether he fought whatever you want to say down his career, he's earned the fact to get up. And if he has a chance to make $100 million, you and I, if someone said, "Hey, I'm gonna pay you $100 million, go fight Mario Lopez or Ali Sekbak," even though they're Ali's the homie, I'd be like, "Hell yeah, where do I sign? I don't care how dumb it looks. This is it is what it is. He's earned the right to do it." And boxers are complaining, and I understand what's going on. There he is. But at the end of the day,
good hair.
Listen, you have to put the work in to get 100 million people on your YouTube and your social media. That shit don't just happen overnight. Whether you put the work in the gym or you put the work on the internet, they've laid the groundwork for these kind of events to happen. And I just see it as entertainment. You're over there saying, "Why don't he fight Canelo?" Canelo's almost 200 pounds now. He's ripped like one of the Ninja Turtles. And it is what it is. I'm just calling it like I see it. It's entertainment. If you look at it in this set of eyes, entertainment only, Floyd's retired. He's not going to be fighting any elite fight. He's not going to be fighting no Spence, no Triple G, no Canelo, nobody, no Pacquiao. And take it what it is for what it is. You'll appreciate the night.
I think, listen, it's a form of entertainment, right? It ain't boxing. It ain't even, I guess it's an exhibition. I mean, because do these guys have boxing licenses, the Paul brothers? Like, are they amateurs? Are they professionals? What is that?
Well, Logan had his boxing license in Cali and got beat by KSI. So he that fight that he fought KSI was actually a real fight. This one probably, since it's an exhibition, probably will not be a real fight. Nah. But nonetheless, you're going to have whatever capacity Florida allows, because those guys do whatever they feel like doing. It'll be sold out. It'll be sold out. That weekend's going to be absolutely ridiculous down there.
In a mug down
Teofimo, hey, listen, I'm already trying to figure out what I'm going to do. It's going to be 83% humidity. Ramblin' Ralph, as you can see right here, don't really do too well with the humidity. We're gonna have a little bit slight problem. 4 o'clock.
All them little fans. All them little fans that you can get, put them all on the desk. All of them.
June at 4 o'clock at night is probably, it's the worst time of the day to start in the summertime to do any kind of activity outside. So hopefully I'm praying that we don't really have a lot of rain clouds, because those usually bring the humidity. When it rains, it's even worse. So I'm praying for clear skies, not too bad of humidity. And I got to find another jacket that's really light. So I'm praying to the boxing gods. I'm praying to the boxing gods that we have all these things lining up, because I'm going to be like that dude on Airplane when he's trying to land the plane, how the water just keeps coming.
Get you a vest, dude.
Yeah. You need to invest in a suit that hides pit stains. I'll tell you that much.
I mean, what do you think, Jeremy? Is this I don't know. Have we officially jumped the shark, or is this thing? It's just in a different lane.
Here's the thing. You mentioned it earlier. It's entertainment, and as long as it's built and billed as entertainment, really, I don't see the issue in it. I mean, if people are going to plunk down however much, $70, $80 for, a couple of legitimate fights, I'm sure they'll put some pro fights on there, just like they usually do, and then follow it up with this exhibition. It's, what's the harm in it? It's not my money. I'm not going to pay for it. I'm not going to be watching it or anything else like that. But like you said earlier, Ralph, I mean, Jake and Logan Paul have taken the last few years and assembled a base of and a reach that no one else can even match, unless you're the top entertainment stars and stuff like that. Unless you're Justin Bieber with 30 million Instagram followers and stuff like that.
Right.
No one else has a base. So if you're gonna be mad at anything, if boxers or anyone that is associated with the business is going to be mad at anything, be mad that boxers and promoters don't do more to put their fighters out there and give them those kind of platforms. Because we saw that the night of, and it was a night full of boxing, and we saw a night full of MMA, and then right as the fights are ending, you had the Charlo brothers, and you had all these boxing stars on Twitter fighting once again amongst yourselves, arguing over $300 as opposed to watching a YouTube guy come in getting paid millions. So if you're going to be mad at anyone, get mad at the people who refuse to fight and refuse to put the biggest fights on. Now, we've already seen the Fury and Joshua. I mean, they're talking about a fight this far along, the only fight we want to see at heavyweight, and they can't seem to get it done because they keep nickel and diamond on who's the A side, who's the B side, who gets 51%, who gets 49%. Meanwhile, the YouTubers are coming in just saying, hey, you know what, bro? I will fight anyone who's not a legitimate boxer and anyone who's not going to beat my ass on TV so we can all just get paid. Everyone's trying to be on the Triller card. Adrian Broner came in and said, hey, I'll fight again as long as it's for Triller. Why? Because they're handing out checks, man. They're making money. So, it's not my money. I'm not going to be plunking down money. But as long as you understand that it's Mayweather is not going to get in there looking for a knockout against Jake Paul. He's going to toy around with him like he did with McGregor. And
160 pounds is his max. Logan cannot weigh any more than 190, so it will be a 30-pound difference minimum that night. I just want to just run these numbers by you real quick on my trusty cheat sheet that I have here. Those fools have been going crazy on the internet since 2007. Okay, so you take a fighter that's got 13 or 14 years in the game, and he's kicking ass like Canelo and Triple G. This is the kind of money they should be earning, right? 22 million subscribers on just Logan Paul's YouTube alone. You've got the total views altogether, 5.7 billion views for Logan. Total, all his content. You bring me someone that has 5.7 billion anything in this world, the hell with the views, just anything. You give me the biggest, like, okay, show me 5.7 billion of whatever you have. Could be pennies, it could be whatever. And they probably don't got it. These kids just took over the freaking internet. And as soon as he put the tweet out, within 2 hours, he had 222,000 views, 3,000 retweets, and 20,000 likes in 2 hours. Some people never get that in all their tweets combined for their lifetime. And this kid already broke the internet. So Flo breaks the internet. The Pauls break the internet. I don't see how the hell they don't make a shitload of money in there.
Just so people can translate their views into real earnings. It's something like $1,200 YouTube pays you per million views.
Correct.
Times
So
that by billion.
if you think about it, if you're at 1,200 or 12,000, what did you say?
It's 1,200 per million, I think.
Yeah, 1,200 per million. So you think about it, it's like $120 million. It's stupid money, So that's just on that. That's not including all the sponsorships that are paying to be put on their videos. I mean, these guys are just cranking out left and right. So you know what? Go and Floyd. I just think that he said, okay, I'm going to put an end to this shit and I'm going to make money. Why not do it? And he doesn't care what people think. He didn't care when we went to Japan. He's not going to care out there, and he'll probably do it again. He will probably do it again, and we're going to be right there watching. Or,
period. I mean, and I'll be honest, man. I from the very beginning, I've been someone that's not, I don't like the Paul brothers or what they do. But then, when you understand the business, when you look at it from a business standpoint and say, look, man, these guys got no intention of being real boxers. Not real boxers. Okay, yes, they're boxing and they have a professional license, but they're not trying to be real boxers like Edgar Berlanga is trying to be a real boxer, and Canelo and these guys. They don't care about their legacy in boxing. No, they're in boxing because they saw a sport that they could walk into and make a shit ton of money and walk right out of whenever it gets too hard, whenever people stop paying for the bullshit fights. But you know what? Leverage it right now. I mean, Mayweather, name a bigger star. You know, I mean, he's not gonna fight Daniel Cormier. All right, Daniel Cormier is gonna go in there because Daniel Cormier wants to fight him.
Yeah.
Right. He's not gonna fight Usman because Usman wants to kill him. Okay,
Right.
He's gonna fight. I wouldn't be surprised if next time he actually did bring Justin Bieber in the ring and knocked out Justin Bieber or somebody like that. Because think about it, man. If it was McGregor, yeah, he would fight McGregor. Now, that might turn out different because McGregor has an audience. McGregor and Mayweather and these kind of guys have such a big platform themselves that they can't be bullied into anything. They move whenever they want to move. So that's Mayweather said, he looked at his account and said, I can make $100 million for, okay. Yeah, I'm not dumb either. $100 million?
And that's the thing. It's like, look, they wanted to do this shit in January, and Floyd is the one that said, no. We're gonna wait until we get crowd because I'm making my gate, and I'm actually gonna leverage this thing. And they got Showtime involved, which was very, very shocking because Showtime invested a bunch of money in Bellator, and now they're hopping onto this thing. And I think that Steven Espinoza got a little wise because I think he realizes that it doesn't matter, man. The Trillers of the world are going to be there. Triller, if you guys didn't hear, they just bought fight.com. So, like, they are trying to position themselves into being bigger than DAZN. Fight is the #1 grossing app in the country. I had no idea because I used to be like, Fight? That Fight's on Fight? Ah, shit, I ain't watching that. Sorry, shit. That's over there with, like, the Tennessee Backwoods Wrestling Association coming on at 8, and then you'd have that's just shit you didn't watch. Now it's like, damn, dude, Fight is like #1 grossing in the country because of the Triller partnership.
Yeah,
now they've acquired Fight, so now Fight is the biggest player in the country. So you can't even hate on that anymore. So I'm anxious to see the digital platform, the Fanmio numbers. I'm really anxious to see that now that Showtime's getting involved. It's going to be weird. But what's crazy is that we have never had such a short amount of time for marketing. There is no press tour, if I'm mistaken. But I don't really think there needs to be because
at this point you don't need to have a tour with Floyd Mayweather.
I don't think there is no
They're
need
gonna
for
run
that.
some YouTube ads. They're running YouTube ads.
When Stephen A. Smith stops everything that he's doing, and the first thing to talk about this morning was the announcement, you're doing something right because it just already making crazy headway. So I'm excited for it, man. It's gonna be fun. Shit's gonna be hotter than hell, but I'm excited for it. I'm excited because,
Floyd hasn't been in the ring in several years. Outside, outweighed by 30 pounds, and it's going to be 98 degrees with 100% humidity.
Please don't tell me that shit, dude.
That's going to be an issue for him. I don't have a problem with boxers making money. These guys are not boxers. These Paul brothers, they are personalities that are capitalizing on an opportunity. I do have an issue with the level of disrespect. Just like, I would have a problem with a young kid popping off to Ralph, popping off to Jeremy. You guys have experience and you're grown men. And to come at grown men talking slick like that because you got security on the side of you, like, you've earned a real ass whooping. I'm not even talking about like what's happening in the ring. Like, somebody is going to put hands on you because everything ain't done on YouTube with a ring light.
Hey, and don't get it twisted. Don't be surprised if Floyd, after he's done with Logan, goes and fights Jake. Don't be surprised.
Well, I kind of want like Kamaru Usman or somebody like that to fight Jake Paul, like Edgar Berlanga. Somebody really gonna
hell
like now. But you know what? But it's not gonna happen. Like, it is. Listen, there's some men in this sport who don't give a shit if they got to have a conversation with a police officer after they put you down out in front of, the Buffalo Wild Wings. They don't.
Yeah.
So we don't see.
And I firmly believe that. I mean, that's what Daniel Cormier was as instituting to him, was like, hey, I don't play fighting. If you're gonna call me out, start calling me names and stuff. We've seen the Paul brothers in the past. Go after like McGregor's wife and his stuff. You fuck around long enough, you play stupid games, you're gonna win a stupid prize.
That's right. Stupid prize is gonna be an ass whooping to the highest degree.
You're gonna find out.
But he
That's
had
gonna be a rough. That's gonna be a rough month for me. I got to go back out to Miami again on the 19th, and then Atlanta for Javonte Davis and Mario Barrios back in Atlanta. So
man, it's rough getting back to doing what you love, bro.
I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. And you know what? The hell with it. If I gotta buy 10 fans and sit there, and Jimmy gonna be hot too. Jimmy gonna come out. Jimmy Lennon gonna come out when the sun's already down. He'll probably have 2 people fanning him on the way to the ring. That man deserves everything. So it's all
feeding him frozen grapes.
They don't let him out of the ice box until it's time for him.
Hey, that's a legend. I'll probably be feeding him for too long. Here, Jimmy.
Grapes.
Here you go, dog. That's my homie. Here you go. No, he's a good man. It's going to be an exciting event. It is what it is. And I, to be honest with you, I want to see John Pascal Badu Jack again. We got to get Badu on because I'm excited for that fight. That fight was amazing.
The first one a couple years ago, it was a real burner and everything. But I think Jean Pascal is definitely not the same boxer he was even just a couple of years ago. But it still has muscles.
He has like muscles in his cheekbone. That dude, like he muscles muscles in back of the ear. The dude is he looks like a Ninja Turtle. I said he was a Ninja Turtle. Crazy. Well, I don't know about you guys, but my Cardinals better make a wise pick today before I let you guys go. I'm claiming we're gonna get. Hopefully, we get this. How cool would that be? We get the Xander's friend from Virginia Tech. He's
Caleb Farley. In fact, we spoke about Caleb Farley at length last night on the Black Hole Show. I mean, Tuesday night on the Black Hole Show. We had Ryan Sakamoto on, who's an NFL insider, and man, we talked about Caleb Farley at number 17 for the Raiders. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's 6'2", has amazing coverage skills. The knock on him is that he hasn't played football in almost 2 years, and he's coming out of college with 2 back surgeries already. So, it's a very physical position, and but he's big and strong, and when he's healthy, he's a game changer. He's a true shutdown corner. So, I mean, I think someone's going to take a swing at him because 6'2" corners who run 43 40s don't come out every day.
No, they don't.
We'll see.
Congratulations to you guys on that podcast. It's getting really, really big, and especially on you 2 are killing it. For those that are watching today that don't get a chance to watch on Wednesday, the 2 superstars of this podcast are featuring guests every Wednesday. They got fire, these 2 here. This one.
We got something special coming next week. Actually, it looks like it's going to be a Thursday show. I'm putting it together now.
Oh, okay. Whatever you guys want to do, man. Just keep me to the curb. It's all good, do what you guys got to do. But again, I'll shout out to our guests. Thank you guys for joining. Jeremy, thank you for your insight, man. You're the best producer a show could ever have, and you're the bomb, bro. And I'm just jealous because you got hair and I don't. So on that note, look at that. He got the Zach Morris. That's the same by the bell. Zach Morris. Yeah.
Start breakdancing.
Hey, is there fights? Oh yeah. Okay. Wait. We haven't even talked about my homie. Wait a minute. We can't let you go yet. We have Andy Reese and Chris Arreola happening on Saturday. We haven't even talked about it yet because those are my dogs, man. Chris Moore. I got to do a documentary, help with a documentary on Chris Arreola that we never released because we honestly thought he was going to beat Bermain Stavern's ass, and he admitted he didn't train the way he was supposed to. Multiple chances for Arreola to gain a heavyweight championship. Never happened, and now he's fighting full circle against a guy who actually got the title of being the first Mexican heavyweight to win a title. It's going to be live, man. It's going to be like a rock'em sock'em. I can't wait. They both look in tremendous shape, man. But, Andy Reese, the younger of the 2, Chris is my boy. I love him to death, but may the best.
Andy's actually making his climb back, and Chris is making his climb back down. Pay attention to this, though. So Chris was on with Sean Porter on the Porter Way, and they had a little segment. He was talking about how when he had a couple of his wins stripped from him for having positive marijuana tests, and he was like, it's bullshit. We shouldn't be testing for marijuana, which I agree. But he did say, I'm probably going to be stripped of this win if I beat Andy as well.
Oh no, Chris, he makes no qualms about it. He might as well be hanging out with Mike Tyson at the ranch. He might as well be hanging out with Mike Tyson at the ranch.
Pay attention.
Say no more than that because I ain't no hater or whatever. But hey, man, like you say, that's something that really needs to be discussed in the near future. If you're thinking that enhances your performance, you must not either smoke and or know exactly what that does to you.
Ain't nobody trying to get high and go fight.
Yeah, it actually is not doesn't bode well for people that are smoking weed to be at high levels of athletic performance. Okay,
try to go to sleep after like going a few rounds. Now that's different.
Yeah, man.
But
yeah, 60. Andy Reese lost 60 pounds, guys. This guy looks amazing. Being now with Canelo's camp. Some people were making fun of him, saying he's eating the carne asada. I, for one, I'm looking at these videos and what he's been doing. He's really taking it serious, and I really think that he was embarrassed the last time. Embarrassed, and people were talking shit, and he let everybody down, and now he's going to try to prove it to himself. Like I said, I don't know about you guys, may the best man win. You said one is ascending, one is declining. People were talking shit about this with you guys.
Chris Arreola is still just dangerous enough to make it interesting. He still has a little bit of that power. I think Andy Ruiz, of course, this is going to be his, comeback fight or whatever. But Andy Ruiz shedding this all that weight and everything, he still has some of the fastest hands in the heavyweight division. That guy is scary fast. And now that it seems like he's rededicated, he spent a lot of time with our guy Jorge Tapatio, training here in Vegas, and then with Canelo, and Canelo's doing this thing. It's half of combat sports is a mindset, and it looks like maybe he didn't plan on winning his fight against Anthony Joshua. I know he would probably say that yes, he did, but he didn't. He wasn't in that mindset. He let it all go to his head, and he blew up and blah blah blah, and everything happened. But he looks focused. He looks like the dark horse in all of this. I mean, Fury and Joshua are going to fight. Deontay Wilder is doing some training and everything, but don't count out Andy Ruiz just because of that Anthony Joshua fight, man. I think he's coming back, and I think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder. He's tasted it once, and now he wants more, and he's got scary knockout power. Obviously, he put down Joshua, and to me, he's got the fastest hands in the heavyweight division, and the guy looks focused. He looks like he's got a chip, and that is a dangerous, dangerous fighter in Andy Ruiz.
Is this, though, CC, is this a pay-per-view fight?
No. And actually, they talked to Arreola about it, and he's like, I don't give a shit. He's like, I was
I'm going to tell you. Listen.
He's like, I'll fight for free, but they won't let me. But it ain't no pay-per-view fight.
Well, here's the thing. People don't understand, and I know that you're very smart, so you get it. Chris Arreola was actually either number 1 or number 2 signee of Al Heyman way back. Jermaine Taylor and Chris Arreola were the first two. I don't know what order they went into, but the Al Heyman actually was still putting on concerts when one of his guys went to talk to Chris about signing and getting out into boxing. So this is like fucking way back that Chris
is a nice like retirement package.
Exactly. So you only have 30% capacity in LA.
Yeah.
So you can only sell 2,000 tickets or 4,000 total, right? How's Al going to make him some money? The only way you do it is say, look, man, we can't get no gate for you. I'm going to put you up here as a sacrificial lamb, so to speak. In their eyes, this is what's happening. And I'm going to get you paid, and you're going to go right off into the sunset. So I think this
business
review, I think it was a business decision to make Chris a little bit more money because he has been loyal. And maybe if he loses this fight, he goes and retires and gets on Triller because if he gets on Triller, that's the
fight Frank Mir next.
No, as a commentator, he'd be over there with Snoop smoking and drinking and cussing and shit. Yeah. He does that now, so he'd fit right in there.
And why shouldn't he? Because Chris is, for all his, failures when it comes to capturing a major heavyweight, piece of the heavyweight title and everything else, Chris has had an amazing career. He's only lost to the creme de la creme. He's one of the rare guys, especially in these generations of fighters. But he's fought everyone. He did not care. He would step into the ring with anyone, from Wilder to Klitschko to Bourbon Stavern and all these. He faced anyone and
He
everyone.
don't care.
He truly
He loves to get hit.
To get hit, just to give a hit and everything, and
crazy.
call it a career after this one, and right off into a thriller match against Frank Mir, and
he's a 9-1 underdog, 9-1 underdog. So you throw $50 on it, you get your Vegas trip paid for. You never know. You never know.
Andy actually he has an audience that's very curious, so he's going to sell some pay-per-view tickets.
I think so too. The hardest core, especially the Mexican hardcore fans, they don't give a shit. They're going to watch this, and plus too, you have the two Ramos family members from Arizona that are extremely really good. Abel Ramos is good, and his nephew Jesus Ramos Jr. is a future superstar in the making, and they're both about 20 minutes from me here from my house. And they're going to be on the pay-per-view too. It's going to be an awesome undercard. You just got to see what happens. I think it's going to be, if it's 2 rounds or 3 rounds or 4 rounds, whatever the hell it's going to be, it's going to be like you're button mashing on your PlayStation. It's just going to be like it's just going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy.
Indeed. Well, listen, we got this UFC fight happening. Fight fans, y'all got stuff to do this weekend.
Yeah, lots of fun stuff.
We got the draft. Oh, look! I palmed that bitch. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, let's see. Should
the draft just kicked off too? So yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Jacksonville Jaguars are on the clock. All right, that means it's time for me to go. Good luck to the Arizona Cardinals. Good luck to your Raiders. I just passed by Allegiant Stadium last week. That place is awesome. I can't wait to go in there and watch a game or watch a fight or announcing that bitch. I'm ready. I'm ready to get some shit. All right. Next week. See y'all later.
Peace out.